being such a free soul and being such a free spirit, he was also the first person that brought true discipline to the sport. He trained with discipline like a ski racer.
And discipline is what Craig had more than anything, and focus. He really knew how to get where he wanted to go.
Eventually I realized I could make some money at it, and I get my traveling paid for if I did better, and it was also really fun to win.
He was a competitive guy. He wanted to win.
Craig Kelly came up to me and said, you know, is there any way that I could be on the Sims team? And of course, I had seen him ride, and I handed him my snowboard.
First world title I won was in 1986 in Breckenridge, Colorado. It was the Snowboarding World Championships, and I won the slalom racing title.
You know, Craig's runs come up, and he's just wicking the gates left and right, and they're flying all over the place, and he looks pretty good. And he looks pretty good in comparison to everybody else. And sure enough, by the end of the day, he's the world slalom champion.
I just remember him telling me, I'm going to be world champion next year. I was like, great, you know. And I took him seriously, but not that seriously. And then he was world champion.
In 1985, only a few months into his first sponsorship deal, things were going sour with Sims. Tom had licensed his company name to Vision Streetwear, which was suddenly going bankrupt. That situation did not go well with Craig, who was now for the first time a world champion. Meanwhile, back in Vermont, Jake's focus was on building better boards.
Craig and I had always had a relationship through the years. I sponsored a big event, and he'd come and win it, and got to know Craig, and it was pretty much understood, I think, that if he ever got an opportunity, was looking for a sponsor, that we should definitely hook up.
I had a lot of promises and things that were broken with Sims. I thought things were going to happen, but they never did. No new boards, always the same old stuff.
Opportunity came up where he was not necessarily fully stoked with the situation that he found himself in.
And then Jake signed him up.
I didn't just quit Sims. I told Sims, hey, you guys have to pay me like you said, or I'm going to leave.
It was the biggest blow that I had ever had in the industry and in the sport when I lost Craig, because everything seemed to change after that.
The entire shift happened in the industry right there, where Sims was considered the best equipment. They had the stars, and they had the freestyle stars, which was the key part, because the whole sport was shifting to freestyle at the time.
When I lost Craig, my team fell into disarray, quite literally, because Craig was just the leader of the team, and everybody looked up to him, and whatever kind of wax he was going to use at a race, that's what everybody else was going to use. If Craig was going to go work out, they were going to go work out. He was just a natural leader.